Hello, my remote still is not working, and obviously, if you watched yesterday's video, I do the videos ahead of time, so I can get caught up and then I post them. So if you're ever wondering why I sometimes am in the same clothes day after day, that's why, and I'm just not the person that's going to do a clothes change, not at this point in my life. Maybe if I become famous and I have money and energy and not little kids to do that, I will, but not right now. And it's just easier to do them when I have time. So I want to thank you for being here today. Welcome to my channel. I am Brita Wallace. For those of you who don't know, I'm a parent and family educator with Wallace Family Ministry. And we are on day 16 of the Love Dare for Parents. Again, the boards are missing. I decided not to do them anymore because you can't really see them, and I'm hoping that my next round of teaching, I will have a better system and be able to learn how to just have something maybe typed up and something pretty and something we can go back and forth on with the video, or even at the end where the key points are written down for you. So we're just going to hop right into day 16 of Love Respects God. That is the topic for today. Love respects God. So the fear of the Lord and the beginning of knowledge is the beginning of knowledge. Proverbs 1:7. So we teach our children to be careful to avoid oncoming traffic, right? I talked about that in my last video. Is Jack has this problem when he really gets focused on what he wants to do and it's across the street, he wants to run towards it and it's an issue, right? So we teach them to avoid other things as well, like poisonous snakes and a shocking combination of an electrical outlet with a butter knife. But there's one appropriate fear that will not only protect them, but actually bring them honor and blessing into their lives, and it's the reverent fear of God, okay? So that is the first point that I want you to get. There is one appropriate fear that will not only protect our children, but actually bring honor and blessings into their lives, and that is the reverent fear of God. That is the very first point that I want you to get today. So the next point is, did you know that parents are commanded to teach their children to fear God so they can live better and longer lives? And this comes from Deuteronomy 6:1-13. A healthy fear of the Lord is the foundational key that enables our children to think more wisely, speak more honorably, and live in a way that's more pleasing to God. So that is the next point I want you to get. A healthy fear of the Lord is the foundational key that enables our children to think more wisely, speak more honorably, and live in a way that is more pleasing to God. So we should echo the invitation of David, who says, "Come, you children, listen to me, and I will teach you the fear of the Lord." Psalm 34:11. Okay? So God is not only patient, kind, and loving, but also holy, powerful, and completely just. He will never be mocked, disregarded, or ignored without consequence. Galatians 6:7. Okay? The Bible describes God as a consuming fire that we should serve with reverence and awe. Hebrews 12:29. The fear of the Lord awakens wisdom within us as we realize that we are living in a universe completely under his control. All right? So the next point that I want you to get is this begins with the awareness of God's presence. We cannot run or hide from him. I used to think that when I was a child. I was like, oh, if I just don't talk to him, if I just don't interact, if I just kind of turn my head and pretend he's not there, then he's going to pretend that I'm not there, right? And we're just going to, I would run and hide. Like, he's not going to be able to find me. He's not going to care about me. He doesn't care about me. And I just thought that I could run and hide from them. But that is not the truth. You cannot run and hide from God. He knows where we are. He is omnisciently knows. Sorry. He omnisciently knows our every thought, desire, and motivation. He knows everything. His pure eyes see everything that we do, okay? So don't write that down as a key point because I totally butchered that word. I am feeling really under the weather today. Everybody here just got over a cold. No, it's not COVID, it's just a cold. My sinuses are not well. I kind of have a little bit of a sore throat, which is what my nephew had, and my kids are getting over it right now. Well, one's getting over it, the other one is getting it, so I'm a little bit of a hot mess, so bear with me. We just gotta laugh at ourselves sometimes, right? So this is me today, hot mess, and you guys get to put up with me, so I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so second, and this is the next point that I want you to get, and next to this I wrote, wow. This fear makes us conscious of his unlimited power. His omnipotentially holds our lives and eternal destiny in his hands. Jesus said, do not fear those who kill the body but are unable to kill the soul, but rather fear him who is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Matthew 10:28. We must never lose our awe in what his grace has and can give us, can save us from. He is not forgetful and grandfatherly. His power over us is only eclipsed by the loving might of his mercy. All right, so to comprehend God would be like an ant attempting to swallow the ocean. We just can't even comprehend. It's not something that we are going to know on this earth, right? So when a man and his children learn to fear the Lord, and this is the next point that I want you to get, when a man and his children learn to fear the Lord, they begin to hate evil, pride, and perversion. Proverbs 8:13, and avoid the snares of death. Proverbs 14:27. And this fear can help a little girl to stop lying and a teenage boy to quit acting immorally as they discover a holy God who sees them. One of the Bible's greatest warnings is against those who belittle or ignore God. Some people foolishly think he can be disregarded or outsmarted, though he counts the numbers of the stars and his understanding is infinite. Psalm 147:4-5. This is the next point that I want you to get. If the people of the world feared God, they would stop stealing and killing, hating and hurting, and begin walking in humble respect for him and for one another. All right, so the next point, there's a lot of points in this one. It's really, really good. An authentic love that flows with obedience and reverence for God would be in every single place, right? If we taught our children how to honor the Lord, okay? And we can do this by our own personal humble worship, all right? So we should respect God so much that we refuse to live in any way that is displeasing to him. How blessed is the man who fears the Lord, the Bible says, who greatly delights in his commandments. His descendants will be mighty on earth. The generation of the upright will be blessed. David wrote, how great is your goodness, which you have stored up for all those who fear you. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life that can cause all our other fears to go away. Proverbs 14:26-27. It not only keeps us from sinful actions, but it opens the floodgates for blessings. Wisdom, counsel, and understanding. Wealth, honor, and fruitfulness. God's presence and provision. So the fear of God may be one of the most important things you can ever pray for and seek to develop in the hearts of your children. So that is a prayer. Let's make it a prayer to pray to God that the fear of God will be something that we seek to develop in our hearts. If we don't have that, if we're really not walking in obedience with God, there are areas in my life that I absolutely need to have more fear of God in, that I'm not perfect in, that I struggle with sin in. And sometimes, one of them is just to be honest and open and a little vulnerable, is that sometimes I just fall off the bandwagon with prayer because I get so overwhelmed and so busy, and then I feel disconnected, and then I feel like other things end up falling off too. Is like, okay, well, I'm not really spending much time with God, and now, like, not even that I'm thinking about other things, but other things just happen, where when I am starting my day with God and I'm feeling very when I'm starting my day with God, I feel very equipped to start my day. I've always felt like that. But if I'm not, then a lot of things can go wrong, and then I get in this habit and this pattern, and it almost throws you into a habit of negativity, kind of, in a sense. And that can happen, not every single day, but whereas if I was spending that time with him in the morning, I just feel really strengthened and equipped to start my day. Well, because his strength is living within me, and I can do all things through Christ who gives me the strength that I need, right? So back to our book here, make sure we are saying that prayer. Like, if there's areas where, like, Lord, help, develop the fear of God in me and the hearts of my children. Help me to just have a healthy fear for you, Lord, and help me to develop that into my children. Help me to model that to my children. So as our children learn to respect God, they will respect life, and they'll respect you. And the more that you talk with them about the greatness of God and their need to reverence and honor him, you can help them see the loving kindness embedded in his power. And that's more than able to guide and care for them. For he is awe-inspiring, but he is also intimate. He is almighty and yet all merciful. Serving a God this big is not a burden, but it is a sacred privilege. The more your children fear him, the more they can know him and humbly love him, enlightening and aligning their hearts with his greatness. To deny him is only the beginning of tears and years of regret, but to fear the God is the starting point of the best and most abundant life of all. Okay? So that is the last point that I want you to get. There's so many good things in there, so anything that you wanted to write down, of course. But to fear God is the starting point of the best and most abundant life of all. So today's dare is to ask your children to read Psalm 139 with you, and then ask what they learned about where God is and what he knows about each of us. Explain how God created them, how he loves them, always sees them, and will judge them one day for how they live their lives. And finish by praying verses 23 and 24 together. Okay? So that is all for today. I will see you tomorrow for day 17 of the Love Dare. I hope that if you need to learn how to love your spouse better, or if you're in a relationship and it's not your spouse and you just feel like you could just learn how to love them better, that you check out the regular Love Dare that I have going on simultaneously with this one as well. Both videos for parents and the regular Love Dare are released on the same exact day, but you can start right with the introductions and the pre-rec. You can start over, you can go back and refer to them. They're going to be here for a long time. I'm not going to take them down. So I just want to be able to give this to people who are able, who want to learn how to love unconditionally and to love our families well, because that is really what Wallace Family Ministry is all about. And the foundation of it is really learning how to love our family, like, is love, right? That's the foundation. And we want to have a strong foundation before we get into talking about the hard stuff, the heart stuff, the hard stuff, and deeper issues within our homes and deeper things that we need to go through and get through. And the foundation of love, we need to, it's not enough for us to just learn. I believe that we have to act. And that's why I love the Love Dare so much, is because they give us an opportunity to practice love in action. So I definitely need it, especially some areas more than others. And sometimes I need to repeat those areas again and again. So I'm excited to go on this journey with you. I'm so glad that you're here. I thank you for tuning in and putting up with my hot messness today. I just made that up. So I hope my remote works soon, and I hope I see you guys tomorrow for day 17 of the Love Dare for Parents. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you do that soon. Make sure you like and share me with a friend. I love you guys. Thank you. God bless, and take care. Still not working.